just about ready to wrap up our last little section for your toolkit. So, when you are looking at doing your reflection, right? So, we combined a number of our learning objectives. Now, I am not using one assignment from one course to demonstrate mastery. We want to make sure that we're demonstrating mastery and that we have a well-rounded mastery to our course. For this class, there's about 3 major assignments. I did not use a combination of summary posts, but you could use a compilation of them if you wanted. I would maybe add a second file to my reflective narratives or my reflective papers that includes my learning objectives that I wrote in week 1 because those took a lot of effort and started my process on reflecting on those certain learning objectives that I personally set for myself during the course, right? But I'm going to reflect on how that impacted me, right? I'm going to think back about some of the things of how did these things impact me? What did I learn? What was something that was meaningful? That may be linked in with learning. How did it impact me? How is it going to impact me in the future? Right? Was there a big challenge? Like in the role-playing reflection, this is a true couple of sentences for me. I don't love role-playing. I always feel really stupid and embarrassed and awkward, except I know that it's really valuable for me. Every time I do role-playing, whether it's for an assignment or it's when I'm at work and I'm trying to work through something, it helps me. Role playing and or writing down what I'm going to say, which is another form of role playing, like scripting out my appointment or my interaction on a topic that I know is maybe challenging for me or something new that I'm trying to address. Something new that I learned that I want to feel more confident and comfortable when I'm in that live scenario in real life, right? And how those things are important, those adaptive communication skills, why they're important to me, being able to be effective in a healthcare setting, making sure, like, how does my communication affect my HIPAA compliance and making sure that I'm supporting a patient's privacy needs. How am I going to document some of those conversations in a professional way, right? Do I have a designated kind of structure that I'm going to include? Do I already have something written up that I know that I'm going to include in every single note, and then maybe I'm going to delete it if I don't need it, right? Those are all examples of role playing. So I'm going to write, a paragraph. Your reflections do not need to be pages long. These are brief. You aren't going to need APA formatting for your reflections because they're your own personal reflections, right? You don't need to make sure that you're using APA format. Now, if you cite somebody a phrase or you quote something from something you learned, then you do need to include them in APA formatting. But that's not a requirement or an expectation for reflections, right? But I'm going to make sure that I'm writing a well-rounded reflection. I don't have to hit every single one of these, right? But I want to hit at least a few of these. And the more of these that you write and you think about, you're thinking about, what did you get out of this assignment? How was it beneficial to you? What would you change if you went back? What would you maybe have changed in the assignment, right? Those are all examples of things that you can put in your reflection and, tie them back to some of your learning objectives. You don't need to write the whole learning objective out, right? And say, my reflective narratives affected me because in their way to communication pathways between providers and patients, right? We have the learning objectives up here. We don't need to rewrite them down and below, but we can use them as some cues in what we're reflecting on, how they impacted us, right? Which helps us determine which objectives we're going to include for each one. So, big takeaways here is edit and make your portfolio yours, right? You can change the colors. You can add pictures. You don't have to add a picture here though. You could delete this one if you wanted, if you just wanted it to be the heading, right? Maybe I want to center this instead of having it in the left. Maybe I want this centered instead of having it in the left. You can add headings to your files that you upload. You can add more than one file. You can change the background. I changed the background of these also. Same method. You click the little cog and you can change your background color. You can use background colors that are not in the more, just default colors that are included. You don't have to just use these. You can look up the numbering system and paste them right in. You can change your font. You can combine learning objectives that relate to one project or assignment that you worked on. A single summary post is not an example of mastery, but the compilation of all your summary posts together could be an example. Maybe your summary post really helped you with a couple of these learning objectives, right? But again, you're going to use all your learning objective or your weekly summary posts as one artifact, right? Instead of this being your communication toolkit, this would be learning objectives, and I'd have all 7 or 8, how many ever I did that semester, would be included. Either one individual PDF file or 7 individual PDF files. Your assignments should be submitted to your instructors in PDF format, and they also should be uploaded in here in PDF format, because uploading things in Google or Word doc or PowerPoint or Google Slides format can mess things up. Your formatting may not stay the same. An image may lay over the top of your words and vice versa, but a PDF freezes it in time. This is all Google Slides or PowerPoint, one of the two. But they are seamless and they're set. They're not going to change whenever I upload the file, right? And that's true of all your files that you're putting in here. You can upload videos. You can change things, right? You can upload YouTube videos for a video if you have it of yourself, or you can upload the video itself if you don't want something to be on YouTube. If you include a YouTube video in here, you do at least need it to be set to unpublished. Otherwise, it's not going to connect. And if you're having an issue with a YouTube video link copying over, it might have to be set as public. I have ran into that before when I've been trying to include YouTube videos. It can't find it whenever I paste it or search for it. So you may have to mess with that, but keep that in mind. And you're, again, going to combine those, right? So you're going to take and make it look like this when it starts out like this. Most likely in all your courses, you are going to be combining learning objectives. So you're going to cut and paste them, and you're going to put them together and make sure that you differentiate that they're all in there, and make sure that you keep them all and don't lose them. The first box is always the description of the course, not a learning objective, right? So those are our big takeaways. It may feel a little awkward at first, the first time you do it. You're going to do great. You can always change up your formatting, right? Your color scheme, maybe you change and you want everything to be blues, or you want it to be multiple colors, right? This can all be different. But take your time and think through some of those things. And it's going to get easier as you do it. And you're going to do great the first time and the last time that you do it. And of course, your instructors and myself are here to help. And I know you all are already talking to each other a lot. Keep doing that. Keep talking to each other too, because that is helpful. Okay, that is it for now. Good luck.